Welcome to the Law School Insider, where we have conversations with students, lawyers, and employers.
Succeeding in law school is something that you must prepare for, not only before you begin, but throughout your law school journey, and that's what this podcast is all about. I am your host, Dr. Christopher Lewis, and I will draw from my over 20 years of experience in the college admission field, as well as bring forth the experiences of others as we delve deeper into the issues. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Law School Insider. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Lewis, and I'm so excited to have you back again this week. This week, we are talking to a solo practitioner that has been out on his own for a little bit of time. Christopher Pollard is joining us this week, and he is a solo practitioner that focuses on DWI and auto cases in the New York and New Jersey areas. But also, like many solo practitioners, he deals with a lot of different things and has to deal with those and his clients on a daily basis. And I'm excited to be able to bring his experience to you today. Christopher, thanks so much for being on the show this week.
Thanks. It's great to be with you.
Now, to start off today, Christopher, I want to go back in time a little bit because this show is all about law school success. So let's go back in time and let's talk about this journey. What was it about the law that really drew you in and made you want to be a part of this profession?
I'm actually the fifth lawyer in my family, so there are a few lawyers in the family. I'd seen their success growing up, and I was like, well, definitely something that appeals to me. I wasn't like the science genius, so I was like, maybe I'm more the liberal arts type of guy. So I'm thinking, I don't think, law school, being a lawyer, or even, practice law, I thought was definitely something in my ability range. So it's a lot of working with people and solving problems, analyzing issues, and trying to get a result for your client. It's very much customer service oriented. I saw that I had these skills for law school. Probably law school is mainly reading and writing, and I excelled at that more than like math and things. So I was like, I thought it was a good fit for me as a profession, and it has been.
Well, that's great. As you went through law school yourself, every person has their own experience. Every person has their own journey. And law school is not easy. So what did you do during law school to help you find success, not only in law school, but also in your career search and now in your career?
Law school is very challenging. It requires a lot of work, but I found it pretty enjoyable. But what set me apart from, I'd say, undergrad to law school is you have to be willing to make more of a time commitment to studying. And basically, when you're in law school, it's really best that your life revolves around studying instead of studying be part of your life. I saw the people who weren't serious enough as students, and they paid the price. I was lucky to have kind of mentored by my two roommates. One I'd gone to private school with in high school, and another was a particularly talented student who had basically dean's list every time at Cooley. I kind of mimicked their work ethic. They pretty much were studying most times during the day, but also I kind of made it my personal mission to just be very organized, write down goals for every day, have a personal organizer. I was like, this is not going to be undergrad. We're going to be pretty much organized to the letter. I made sure to set, 2-3 studying goals a day. I would suggest that, if you don't have your written goals for what you're doing that day, even that week, if you do nothing else on a weekend, just plan out your week that day. If you do nothing else on the weekend, just plan out your week or what you're doing each day. You don't have to kill yourself with 15 things a day. Just, a couple goals every day. This is what you're doing. You will accomplish way more than you think. So that was that's what set me apart from my studies at other times. I tried to emulate the success I had before. I was always a pretty successful student. But, for that, my success required work. That's for sure. But law school is its own thing. Law school, you need a mastery of the material. That's kind of what they go at. Law school is not hard. I'd say 80% of each class is, very doable, pretty fun stuff. But you have to know it. If you're looking to blow off the material, cram it all at the end, I saw friends do that, and I was like, this is not working for them. And they were very smart people, and they just didn't do it right. But you really have to put in the time to understand the stuff, have a mastery of it. You have to be able to work with your knowledge on the exams. The exams are a little bit different than you're used to. You're using your knowledge to analyze the problems that you're given. That's kind of a step beyond just knowledge. You need a work ethic. You need to be organized. And that's it. Your life has to reflect that if you don't see a difference in how you're living.
Now, what were some of the steps that you took to be able to get yourself, let's say, into the groove of law school?
Yeah, the groove of law school is just eliminating distractions. Honestly, the first month, I wasn't quite in law school mode. I really wasn't. And then I kind of put my foot down. I'm like, all right, we're eliminating distractions. I had a TV. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have a DVD player. I had my little stereo from home. That was it. I said, we're not watching TV. you got to eliminate distractions. It's not so much what you're doing, it's also what you're not doing. So you got to eliminate distractions. You got to get, like I said, some sort of organizer, planner. You can go to Staples. There are about 7,000 of them there. You just buy one and you actually use it every day. Like I said, I don't care if you can start with 2 assignments for yourself a day. I mean, you have to. In law school, I had one class one time a week. So it's like first term, you'll never forget that. It was just one class a day in the morning per day. I had four classes. It was crim, contracts, torts, and then property, Monday through Thursday. Friday was off. That was actually Tuesday through Friday, and one a day. And, you had to figure out what you were going to do the rest of that week to study and review and prepare for the next. You have 2 things. You got to prepare next week's cases, and you have to review. So you just have to schedule that in per, each day, what you're going to do. If, you're going through your days in law school and you don't know what you're doing and you're kind of lost, that's a red flag. You can't be lost in law school. And there's no reason to be, because, you've been through college, you're not in college, you're going through you went through how many years of school, and you're in law school. So you've got to really be organized. Make sure you know what you're doing each day. I did have my planner every day. It wasn't nothing fancy. It was just, it was basically a notebook. Each day was a page, and like, we're doing this, that. And the other thing was the most organized I'd ever been. And I was just like, this is working. I mean, I was never lost. I never had to repeat a class. I was on point with everything, never did bad in a class, and it paid off. But you really have to be focused, set goals, and eliminate a lot of distractions. It's like, if you're planning on going to bars every night, you might want to guess again. Not every night, but that's for sure. I was close. I went to Cooley, Party Central was the next town over, plenty of bars and fun things to do, but, that's going to be I saw the people, that was their lifestyle. It's like, not going to work. It really isn't. But like I said, I had good examples of how to act in law school, and, my roommates were basically deans of the students. I was very lucky, but that's what you got to do. Just be focused and eliminate distractions, and really have to buckle down, because you do have a considerable amount of work to do.
Now, I know that you've been in your career for a little bit of time, but as you think back to your law school experience, is there anything that you wish that you would have done, that you would have accomplished, that if you could go back in time, that you would do different, that would help you to find success in the career that you have now?
I would recommend everybody just start making decisions as soon as possible. I guess I had a bit of an issue with that. You have to decide where you want to practice. You live on the border of 2 different states. You might want to consider, where am I practicing? Where am I from? Where do I want to live? And, if you're on the border of some states, you might want to consider taking both bars, because there are some firms that you have to be admitted to both. I'm not saying that's necessary, but for some firms it is. So you have to figure out where you want to practice. You have to figure out what you want to practice. There's 6, 7, 8 areas of law. And what are the main areas I found are criminal defense, family law, and personal injury. And if you want to maybe make a decision, go for it. I mean, as a solo now, I focus on, the criminal defense and DWIs and a lot of traffic matters, because that's kind of the flavor, I call it the flavor of law where I live, which is the New York City area, North Jersey, Central Jersey, and right by New York. So it's we have the traffic. We kind of specialize in DWIs, traffic offenses, and criminal defense, I guess, as well as just about every other area of law, because there's so many. You got to figure out what area you're going to practice. And then what you have to do is you got to tailor your search to that area. Start writing to firms soon. I should have researched firms and researched areas of law. It wasn't so long ago I was in law school. I should have gone to the internet. You might want to take one day out of your week, that's your light day, and I should have just researched areas, what's it like to practice in that area, and start researching firms. And that's why you have to figure out where you want to practice, because you have to research firms in that state. You might want to start writing to those firms, say, hey, here I am. It costs nothing to write to them, but they might take you under their wing, and you can extern with them, or during summers or breaks, hang out with them, and then eventually you might be able to get hired by them. And also just might want to also network with your own, what they call your warm market, your friends and family. I should have done a little more of that. Just telling people, lawyers, and they either related to or your family knows. Just tell them you're in law school, because you need a job when you graduate. You got to figure it out, so you could start tailoring your search for that. I definitely wish I'd done a lot more of that. You will be in a much better position out of law school to really start your job search much much better when you're dealing with firms that know you a little bit, that you've networked with, or maybe that your friends or family know. And that's a lot better than shotgunning resumes to firms that don't know you. I mean, you'll figure out what you want to do and even figure out what you don't want to do. As a solo, I look for the personal injury cases, but the day-to-day cases are criminal because there's so much criminal law, so many DWIs where I'm at, so much traffic tickets because there's so much traffic and so many people. So that's the day-to-day stuff. And the longer-term stuff, just finish someone's will and power of attorney, estate planning stuff. You don't have to rush to court to do that. You just do it on your own. Bam, you meet with the client and you give them their will and stuff. You sign it. It's a good way to supplement. What I found as a solo, and you're a jack of all trades, but master of one. And but you do want to diversify a little.
You chose to become a solo practitioner in your career. Now, what was it about that career that drew you in? And what is it that sustains you now that you've been a part of it for some time?
I always wanted to work in the legal field. What do you want to do? I always wanted to work for either a small firm or actually the friends of mine and me were considering forming a small firm, which I'd recommend. If you make some friends or know some people as you're practicing, some colleagues or people in law school, I'd recommend, forming a small firm and, going that way because you don't forget, as a lawyer, you don't have to work for anyone else. You can work for yourself, which is a nice thing. It also has its own challenges. The power to, working for myself has its advantages. We'll just go with that. I'm my own boss. I control my own schedule, what cases I want to do, where my office is, how much money I get to make, basically what exactly I'm doing, what types of cases, and how many cases I want to do. Now, the freedom to seed like that. Don't forget, I can make an unlimited amount of money. I mean, there's no cap. As an associate, I was an associate for 3 years doing DWIs and criminal defense. I made a salary. I got raises, and I got benefits of expenses. So that was good. But you're just thinking you're the owner rich is what you're doing. And he basically worked me. I did double the cases for half the money. I was an relatively experienced person what I was doing. I had worked per diem right after I passed the bar. I worked per diem for an attorney solo that I'd met taking the bar, and I was just in court literally 2-3 times a day every day, and I just learned the trade of municipal court and DWI so incredibly well that it was kind of a seamless transition when I went to the other firm. Unfortunately, like I said, you're overworked, so I was like, why don't I just take what I know and work for myself? I always wanted to work for myself, as well as, since I know this so well, it should go well. It's a lot of attorneys I spoke to, many of them are like, hey, going out on my own was the best thing I ever did. And it can be. And I do know my colleagues from Cooley who are in the Lansing, some of them are in Michigan, some of them are obviously elsewhere. Some of them practice 2 towns away from me. And my roommate in Cooley is literally practicing at a great firm downtown in my town. It was what I wanted to do, just work for myself, and obviously that's kind of where I'm at now, but it does present its own challenges. You do have to get to learn promotions, how to promote your business. You're either promoting or networking with other attorneys and other people, and it's starting to pick up. I've only been out on my own now for a year and a half. I work with attorneys who have been doing this 20 years, and I give me cases, and since I was in court for 5 years, attorneys and even my old firms, and they give me cases on a regular basis they can't cover, so we call it cover work, and that's most of the money I make now, as well as picking up my own clients. And now I can see the snowball kind of growing, and I'm getting more referrals and getting more of my own clients. That's how it grows.
I really appreciate you sharing that. Now, I always finish my interviews with kind of turning the tables and allowing for you to give any other pieces of advice, tips, resources, hints, anything that you think that could help someone to find that success that they want to have in law school and beyond.
Like I said, try to make your decisions as early as you can. Don't get scared of law school. I would like to say I think the legal profession is a great profession. I kind of have my own little expression. You can either work for a living or you could be a lawyer. I mean, a lot of lawyers, they claim to be overworked. They claim this, they claim that. But being a lawyer, once you know what you're doing, and it takes a while too. I mean, you can't think you're coming out of law school being an expert. You really don't know what you're doing at all. You have to learn practice of law. Just like anything else. But once you do, it's really fun because you know what you're doing. Everybody's, a lot of the cases, everything's the same, but everything's different. I get to go to a lot of what I do is just going to court, talking to people I know. It's really, a lot of times it's not even work. So once you become an expert in your field of law, you'll be having a good time. And once you get the clients coming in regularly, you don't need tons of clients. Once you're on your own or, you got your thing going, you need regular clients, but you don't need tons of clients. And, your money's coming in and you know what you're doing. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling. You can even branch out to other areas. So I would just say, don't get scared of law school. Just be organized. Work as hard as you can. Make your decisions early on. Start networking early on. realize people don't know you yet. I mean, you're just breaking the ice with them. It'll be a lot better doing that than just getting out of law school and starting to apply there. What else can I say about the practice of law is a good thing. I do talk to some attorneys who don't like it as much, but I think they like it more than they let on. I would also recommend learning about customer service, because as a lawyer, you're really a glorified customer service agent. A lot of it is client satisfaction. So start Googling, start researching promotions, how to promote a firm, go on YouTube. How to promote a firm. I still do that today. I mean, how to get clients, how to promote a firm. Even if you are an associate, you're getting paid a salary. The firm would like you to get some of your own clients to bring in as well, not just people off the website. Start researching what a good website is. You know, if you're going to be a solo paralegal, you could start writing to attorneys, start meeting them. You know, I'm an attorney. If you have any overflow, just start researching. Go to the internet as soon as you can. How do I get clients? You know, you're not going to have super success overnight. If you want to start a partnership with a lawyer, you're the guy who steers the ship. He's the guy or girl who gets the Mr. and Mrs. Charismatic, gets the clients. You're better off talking to them and running things. You could alternate going to court and stuff. You gotta just get serious and get that idea and start writing to firms. If you want to be a prosecutor, you could start getting in with the prosecutor's office and wherever you live. Get your foot in the door and start talking to professors and from your area, what they can do for you. They do want to help out students. You know, you're in law school. You're in like alternate reality. It's like you're in law school. It's not reality. Reality is going to set in when you leave, so you have to be prepared for that. Otherwise, you'll be like, whoa, where am I?
Thanks so much for sharing that. Everything that you've shared today has been insightful, and I want to wish you all the best in your own success as you continue in your career, and we look forward to hearing more about your success in the future.
Great, thanks.
Well, that was another great guest this week on the Law School Insider. If you have an interest in being a guest on the show, drop me an email at lawschoolinsider@Cooley, COOLEY.edu. And thank you all for listening today, and remember, you have the ability and right to take control of your law school's success. I hope you'll continue listening, creating a plan for success that will prepare you to achieve the dreams that you have set for yourself. Talk to you next time. Thanks for listening. You're on your way to being a law school insider. Please subscribe to stay connected and come back again next time as we speak to more students, lawyers, and employers.